Good news, everyone. Tammy Bruce is here to help us close out the show. Two topics for you, Tammy. Biden's border crisis and the White House's latest Hunter Biden lies. First, just as we get the data for the scale of Biden's border crisis, more than 2 million migrant encounters in Biden's first year in office, they announced the end of the Trump pandemic restrictions, Title 42, which DHS expects to create an influx of 12 to 18,000 migrants a day, which means we could be looking at up to 500,000 people entering the country illegally a month. Tammy, your reaction?
It's going to be a cataclysm, right? Catastrophe wasn't enough. It's another C word. But it's going to be a freaking disaster. It already is. And, you know, we already know that they're begging for help from within the their agency to come help with the border. But I think what we've got to realize is that we continue to hear about sex trafficking, about the nature of what's happening with children, about child abuse, murders, rapes, etc. And imagine doubling the number of people. The chaos that then becomes even more extreme means that more and more crime, more sex trafficking, more lack of respect for any kind of rule of law just becomes even more desperate, more widespread. So we have to look at that, the border area itself, this experience itself. And then these individuals are coming into a country that is we're looking at this getting, with the inflation and everything else, getting worse before it gets better, moving into areas where there's, you know, they don't know when they can get a job, and if they do get a job, what the rates will be. It's going to be chaos. It already is. And again, I'm worried about certainly not just the Americans who are within the border region and the cities that these individuals are being moved into without any background check. The health issue now is off the table, so we don't know. Beyond coronavirus, of course, Steve, remember, it's Zika, it's tuberculosis, it's measles, it's everything else. So Americans, we have to worry about that as well. But then the people making this trek because they want a better life, they're the ones who are being lied to and being manipulated in this framework.
Exactly, and it's just so classic of the Biden people. They create a problem, and then, oh, let's make it worse. It's just everywhere you look, that's what's going on. All right, let's get to the second thing I'd love your thoughts on. Your reaction to this today from White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain.
The Washington Post also reported this week on deals that Hunter Biden had with a Chinese energy company, paid $4.8 million to entities controlled by Hunter and the president's brother. Is the president confident his family didn't cross any ethical lines?
George, the president is confident that his family did the right thing. But again, I want to just be really clear. These are actions by Hunter and his brother. They're private matters. They don't involve the president.
He says these business dealings don't involve Joe Biden. That is just a flat-out lie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lie, but it also tells you that clearly this did not come as a surprise to them. That suddenly we have the Washington Post and the New York Times confirming that the laptop was real, but it seems like Ron Klain is like, yeah, what about it, right? Like they knew. What we do know is that Joe Biden already has been involved in Hunter Biden's dealings because of the Burisma situation, because of the prosecutor situation in Ukraine, that as vice president, and he bragged about intervening in that dynamic on a company on which Hunter sat. So we know that's already occurred. We know that these are individuals who knew ahead, they were the participants. We were being told that the laptop dynamic was false. It has now been proven to be true, that the documents inside have been proven to be true, which means they've known it, even as the media was blocking it and lying about it, and there was no correction. So are we supposed to believe them now with everything else that they've been lying about? Of course, the answer is no. I think Ron Klain looked a little nervous there. Maybe it's President Klain, as far as we know, with what we don't know with the White House. But I do believe that now that the media is asking these questions, it means that this is becoming a bigger problem for the Bidens. Certainly, we know that Joe Biden is the big guy, and everyone knows that, like we've known everything else. Lying about it is not a surprise. But when he says, there's no ethical lines crossed, no, but there's, I think, been some corruption lines crossed. It's much bigger than just, you made a different kind of questionable kind of choice. Biden's been doing strange things, I think, for half a century, and nothing's changed. And his son, his lifestyle and who he is has been out in front, and it's embarrassing, but it's dangerous. Now, for Western civilization, it's one thing for your family to be a mess. And for that embarrassment and for the trouble of addiction and behavior issues, many American families are dealing with that. But my goodness, talk about trading on those things because of your father's position. It's obscene, it's unacceptable. Joe Biden and Jill Biden need to start looking at their own family and fixing that as they continue to set this country on fire. How dare they?
Exactly. And the thing is, Tammy, as we've said many times, but this is the business model. This is the business model of the swamp. Peddling influence. That's why we said from the beginning, he's the absolute epitome of everything that's wrong with our political system, with the corruption, it's systemic corruption, and he is the ultimate example of it, exactly as you said, because he's been doing it for decades.
Which is why they went to such lengths to get him in the White House.
Exactly. We got to go, Tammy. Great to see you. Shannon Bream is.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.